And we alive, ladies and gentlemen. Saturday Night Smoke SNS, you already know. Victory Road, Impact Wrestling. We're going to talk about that and Dark Side of the Ring and more here on Saturday Night Smoke. Let's get it.
Yeah, we're smoking some blunts right here with Rose Montana and the Tiller.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Rose Montana, back with another one. You already know. SNS Saturday Night Smoke Impact Wrestling Victory Road. Let's get it. And I'm joined by the one and only Rangers of Wrestling.
Hi,
Yo,
people.
the teller. Let's get it.
Hey. I like your picture, by the way. Alrighty.
We had Impact Wrestling tonight, Victory Road. Let's get it.
Alright, so in Victory Road kicked off with a three-way match. It was TJP versus Petey Williams versus Steve Macklin. I thought this was an amazing way to kick off the show. I really enjoyed this match. Of course, the ending, Petey Williams had the match won, but what ends up happening? Steve Macklin steals it from him. He steals it from him and ends up with the victory. What were your thoughts on this opening match?
Good opening match. I thought that we would see it, like on the following weeks and coming up on Impact Wrestling. But I believe it, it was a good, I guess you could say, an X Division showcase match for the most part.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, it was a good match.
That Canadian Destroyer at the end, Williams had it. But Steve Macklin, being a heel, stole it from him. Wouldn't you agree?
Yep.
All right. So after that, we had a 5-way contest. It was Black Taurus versus John Skyler versus Jake Something versus Laredo Kid versus Trey Miguel. This was another amazing match, another great showcase of X Division talent. A couple of things that I noticed was the Meteora DDT that I believe Trey Miguel did. He took down Jake Something and Laredo Kid. Very impressive. Laredo Kid and Black Taurus took down Jake Something instantly at the very beginning of the match. John Skyler spearing Trey Miguel and Black Taurus. But in the end, Laredo Kid emerged victorious. Were you shocked by Laredo Kid winning? Did you expect it? Or what were your thoughts on this match? Why I just tweet out the stream.
Yeah, I wasn't shocked. It is pretty much, Laredo Kid's return home party. Pretty much he home. He back on the Impact Wrestling roster. And this is just one of many wins to come.
Yeah, I honestly, I really like this match. I really did.
I believe he'll be in the X Division title match that they'll be having at Bound for Glory. But we'll talk about that a little later on, though.
Definitely. Okay, so the next match was Tennille Dashwood versus Taylor Wilde. No disrespect to the knockouts. They're each talented in their own way, but this match really didn't do much for me.
I have to agree with that, but I'll say it's more so because of Tennille. I love Taylor Wilde. Anytime a return and a TNA original comeback, I'm all for it. But put up against somebody else, not Tennille Dashwood.
Yeah, of course. Steve Callahan in the chat agreeing with us. The match was blah. And yes, but the only good thing about this is that Taylor Wilde was victorious. So
yeah, she finally got her win back on the Influence. So hopefully, now? And I guess we got maybe another 6-person tag match, and then it'd be done.
Probably. All right, so afterwards, we had a no DQ match between Rohit Raju and Matt Cardona. Matt Cardona attacking Rohit before the match. There was a double team by Shira and Rohit. And then Rohit sending Shira away, sending him away. Um, Matt Cardona dropping Rohit on a trash can, a double stomp on two steel chairs. And then Shira came back to try to help Rohit. And then who comes out? Chelsea Green comes out and attacks Rohit, allowing Matt Cardona to pick up the victory. What are your thoughts on this match?
It was a couple pretty good spots. What's the move called now? Radio something.
Radio silence?
Yeah, he hit the radio silence on the outside on Shera. He hit two of them on Rohit, Chelsea Green that came in and would hit Rohit with the pump kick. Yeah, I dig it. But I'm tired of this feud though, so I hope this is the end, and we can move on now.
Yeah, hopefully. What do you think is next for Matt Cardona?
Championships. He got to win championship.
Yeah, imagine him and Chelsea Green are the Knockouts champion and probably X Division champion.
Yeah, X Division champion. Maybe he can move up to the main event scene at some point, but we need a championship round Matt down the waist.
Yep. All right. So next on the list, we had Chris Bay and Hikuleo. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yeah.
Versus Finjuice. Another good match. I was impressed by Chris Bay. Of course, are we surprised that Chris Bay and Hikuleo picked up the win here?
No, come on. It's Bullet Club, baby. You already know.
Exactly.
It's for life.
Exactly. All right. So next was actually one of my favorite matches of the night. It was Moose and William Morrissey versus Eddie Edwards and Sammy Callum. Now, I have to say, both teams, Moose and Morrissey and Edwards and Callahan, worked well together. I was impressed.
Yeah.
I was impressed by how well both teams worked together. Couple of spots, though, I have to say, Edwards using Sammy Callahan's finisher.
Yep, the power driver.
The power driver, yeah. The thumb to the eye by Callahan. Callahan stopping Moose in his tracks. Morrissey saving the match for his team by pushing Callahan into Edwards. Moose grabbing the kendo stick. And then probably what cost Edwards and Callahan the match was when Morrissey powerbombed Alicia Edwards, Eddie Edwards' wife, and her pants nearly slid off. And Eddie Edwards had no choice but to carry his wife out of the ring, allowing Moose and William Morrissey to pick up the victory. What are your thoughts on this match?
Man, that power bomb was crazy. He had a little ass 7 feet up in the air.
Yeah.
Man, but that did you peep that call back to the Wolves? That super kick in the suplex.
No, I did not.
That him and Sammy Callahan did.
No, I didn't catch that. Or maybe I might have. I just didn't know it was to the Wolves.
I don't know. I don't know about suspended, but he should be fine. He should be fine.
Steve Callahan saying it was a good match, but what Morrissey did, wow. I mean, look, Alicia Edwards is the one who wanted to be out there in the first place because she didn't trust Sammy Callahan.
Yeah, but see, that's how she always getting in something though. She always, I'm gonna be there. I want to be there, and then always getting some trouble. Like she need to just stay in the back.
Yeah. But hopefully, I mean, what do you think is next? Do you think they're gonna challenge? Well, before we jump ahead, do you think they're gonna challenge the winners of the Impact Tag Title match next, or do you think it's gonna build to that, or do you think that eventually Moose and Morse are gonna turn on each other?
But eventually they're gonna turn on each other. Like they already stated in the beginning, we're not friends. This is just a partnership. So I can get what I want. So once Moose get what he want, of course he gonna kick Morrissey to the side, and Morrissey gonna do the same thing.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. So we had our first title defense of the night. It was a knockouts tag team title match. It was DK in the form of Rosemary and Havoc versus Savannah Evans and Tasha Steeles. One thing I will say, Savannah Evans sticking it to Havoc, saying she was not afraid. She was not backing down from Havoc. And at one point was dominating her. But of course, in the end, Rosemary with the green mist and Havoc ended up getting Tasha Steeles alone, and DK retained the Knockouts title. Matt, the Knockouts titles. What were your thoughts on this?
A decent tag match, like this is pretty much like a showcase for Savannah Evans. Like we haven't really seen, everything that she could do on Impact, but
Exactly.
like we got to see, a little bit of what she could do tonight. I could
Exactly.
dig it. I want to see more of her.
Yeah, same. She very impressive showing, honestly, if you ask. Alrighty. So then we had our second title defense of the night. It was the Impact World Tag Titles, the Good Brothers versus the number 10 wrestler on the PWI 500 list, Rich Swann and Willie Mack. Before we go any further, were you shocked that Rich Swann made the top 10?
Uh, no, but we already know it was because he had that match with Kenny Omega. If he ain't had that match with Kenny Omega, he probably would have been maybe
Yeah,
top 20.
definitely. I agree. Alrighty. So, Steve Callahan says it was a decent match. What was a decent match? This match or the knockouts match?
The knockouts.
Oh, probably. Anderson attacked Willie Mack's face so that he can tag Luke Gallows. And then Gallows with the vicious knee to Rich Swann's face. I was impressed by Willie Mack dropping the Samoan drop on Luke Gallows, I mean. And then Swan saved him from a magic killer. And that moveset that followed was fantastic. But of course, Gallows stopped Willie Mack in his tracks, power bombed Swan on the edge of the table. I don't know about you, but I was expecting a title change. But of course, the Good Brothers were victorious and they retained their Impact Tag titles. What are your thoughts on this?
You already know I'm always with the elite, so of course I was going with the Good Brothers. I thought they was going to, hit that magic killer. Because, the recipe is always the same. A magic killer, a 1, 2, 3, and just too sweet.
Yes. Wow. I have to say, the following match was the third title match of the night, but it was hands down my favorite match of the night. I don't know about you, Rose. It was the X Division Championship match, Chris Sabin versus Josh Alexander. Holy cow, this match was fantastic from beginning to end.
You
Josh
knew it was going to be a
Alexander would
banger.
not let go of that ankle lock. And Chris Sabin, what can we say about this match? Chris Sabin knocking down Josh Alexander's gear at the end. Of course, Josh Alexander was victorious. Chris Sabin at the end of the match showing respect to Josh Alexander by shaking his hand and whispering something in his ear. This match was, I can't say anything more. It's like there's nothing, this match was amazing all around. I absolutely love this match. My favorite match of the night.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to agree with you. It was a real good match. Back and forth, like you said, he kept going for that ankle lock. He wouldn't let go. I mean, like, can we say it now that Josh Alexander is, I guess you could say, one of the best X Division champions like that we had in Impact. I guess you could say next to Samoa Joe, honestly, like the most dominating one I've seen.
Yeah, definitely. And what do you thought? What were your thoughts on that show of that sportsmanship at the end? Chris Sabin shaking, knocking, knocking, shaking Josh Alexander's hand in the end and whispering something in his ear.
I want to know what he said.
Me too.
I'm nosy, so I'm like, I wonder what he told him.
You're funny. Alrighty. So then our final title match of the night and our main event was for the Impact World Championship. We got Christian Cage versus Ace Austin.
Yes, sir.
I liked Ace Austin and I was rooting for him, but of course, I was like, he's probably gonna lose. I
Yeah,
was
not
right.
yet.
I was
Not yet.
right. You know, he did lose, but it was a good match all around. I think he had an impressive showing in this match, and definitely he will be champion one day.
Yeah, one day, but just not yet. Like I mean, like it was a good match. It was a good showing for him. Like like it's showing people that Ace Austin is a main event player, and that he's here to stay. But uh, his day gonna come. It just wasn't tonight.
I will say this: if you caught Ace Austin's promo before his match, he caught himself undeniable. Did you catch that?
Yeah, and where we heard that before.
From someone named Tessa, I believe. Tessa Blanchard.
So maybe that means something. Who knows?
Maybe. But we need to talk about what happened at the end of the night. At the end of this match, what closed Victory Road? Who comes out? Who comes out at the end of this match? Who comes out, Rose?
X Division champion Josh Alexander.
Exactly. He comes out and officially challenges Christian Cage at Bound for Glory. Both of them raising their respective titles. But commentary said that Josh Alexander has to relinquish the title. Is that true?
Yes, because he's in voting option C.
What's option C?
Option C was something that Austin Aries had created. I believe in 2012 or 13, to where he had relinquished, the X Division title, and he would get a world title shot.
Wow, I was actually kind of hoping they'd go the opposite route and make it a title for title match. But I guess this is the way of taking the X Division title off Josh Alexander while protecting him in a way, so to speak. This way,
Yeah,
you can't say Josh Alexander was pinned to lose the X Division championship.
I could dig it though.
Yeah.
Option C, like I was wondering if option C was still around, because the last person I think used it was Brian Cage,
Mm-hmm.
and that was in like 17, 18, I want to say.
Mm-hmm. Wow, I'm at that alone made me excited for Bound for Glory. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna front. I am disappointed we did not get Kenny Omega versus Josh Alexander, which I'm assuming was the original plan for Bound for Glory. But nevertheless, I'm pretty excited for Josh Alexander to be facing Christian Cage at Bound for Glory. What about you?
If we got Christian Cage in the main event, Down for Glory, yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
And hopefully I get tickets and I can go because it's right next door to me. I have to go.
So we can get that live footage.
Yes, and I have to say, I did pre-order the iPhone 13 Pro Max, so it's going to be high quality footage.
All right, now.
Yes.
But overall, good show. If you had to give it a Montana Milsa rating, 1 out of 5, what you gonna give it?
Well, if I had to give this a Montana Melter rating, I'd give it a Rose Montana high 4 out of 5. 4.5 out of 5. Only because that Tennille Dashwood match kind of brought things down a little bit, but overall it was a great show.
I agree with you. I give it a high 4.5. Steve Macklin gave it a 7.5 out of 10. Okay.
Better than Rampage? Wow.
Wow, what? Steve said it was better. It was better than AEW.
Wow.
Let me take a picture.
Screenshot this. Let me take a picture. Hold on. Oh, okay.
So now we have to tune in next week Impact Wrestling to see what happened with this face
Exactly.
off.
Can I say something? So I have to say, Victory Road proves once again why people need to stop sleeping on Impact. This is a great show, and it did its job in carrying over storylines that are going to be used at Bound for Glory. People have to stop sleeping on Impact. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, most definitely. For years, everybody say Impact is dead or this company still around, blah, blah, blah. Just give it a chance, watch it. I'm telling you, it's good wrestling. Like you messing up.
Definitely. I have to say, this entire year that I've been watching Impact, I've been very impressed. One of the first things I really liked about Impact was the Wrestle House segments. I don't think Impact gets enough credit for its comedy. Like, I absolutely love the Johnny Swinger Palace segments. I think they're pretty funny. And like, I feel like they don't get enough credit for that.
Nope, not at all.
Just like how no one gives them that so much credit for the women's revolution. They were the ones who truly started it.
Really, if you haven't seen, do your research. Go back. TNA Impact Wrestling 2007. That's the start of the real women's revolution.
I wasn't even watching Impact at that time, and I know about that. So, what's our next subject that we're going to discuss?
Next topic, one of the big topics, that everybody's talking about. Dark Side of the Ring.
Steve Callahan is always a good review.
Thank you, Steve. We try.
Dark Side of the Ring. Unfortunately, I did not watch this episode. I wish I'd known we were going to discuss it. I would have watched it beforehand, but I didn't watch this.
I watched it earlier today. I didn't watch it, but I seen like so much about it, or so many clips, to where it's like I felt as though I seen it already, like before I watched it.
Yeah. I have to say though, I will say I have heard stories about the infamous plane ride from hell. I've read the Wikipedia page on it. If that helps. But yeah, so big controversy. Tommy Dreamer getting suspended for his comments that he made on the episode. What are your thoughts on that, Rose?
I don't. You know what? I honestly don't think that it was quite fair, because, like, I was looking at it, and like I rewound it a few times, and like it seemed like that, like he wasn't defending what he did. Like it seemed like more so that he was talking about like how like he act, and like like what he normally do. Like I don't think he was defending, saying like, oh yeah, it's cool, like it's fine to do that. Like I don't think that's what he was saying, honestly, because like who would who would come on television and say, oh yeah, that's right, nobody. So
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
like
From
no,
what I've seen, there's been a lot of outrage on Ric Flair and his whole situation. Do you want to
yeah,
elaborate on that?
yeah, and that's because he supposedly he had I guess you could say what pushed up on the flight attendant, and had it, made it touch him and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Like we wasn't there, so we can't say it happened, it didn't. It did or didn't, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But if he did do it, like that's wrong. Like you shouldn't be doing that. If don't nobody want to be touched, you shouldn't be touching them.
Yeah, exactly.
But like I go back to saying, I don't think that Tommy Dreamer was defending him though. Like I think Tommy Dreamer was just saying like, yeah, like how Rick do, like he that crazy, and he do this. Like I don't think he was, I don't think he was defending that because like I don't even think that he maybe. I mean, like he know now, but maybe at the time he didn't.
Could it be possible, not saying, not, not trying to like defend Tommy Dreamer or anything, but could it be possible that maybe it was edited to look like that? And maybe what he said was taken out of context and it was edited. You know how people are in post production. They edit stuff that or they
Yeah,
cut out stuff. So do you think that's possible maybe that they cut stuff out that maybe what he said wasn't all of the things that he said, maybe it was edited. I'm just saying it's possible.
yeah. And I think that's pretty much like all it was. Honestly, was sorry about that. Honestly, yeah, like that's what I believe. I believe that he just was taking it out of context, and like if you look at everybody that was involved, like if you look at everybody that was involved, it was what Jr. What Brock Lesnar, Kurt Hannon, what Sky Hall, uh, who else? I know I'm forgetting some people, but like a lot of like like a lot
Brock
of top,
Lesnar?
yeah, Brock Lesnar, like like a lot of top guys, and
Mhm.
then you add in Tommy Dreamer, who is the lowest man out of all of them people.
Oh my god.
I mean, like let's be real. From a pro wrestling standpoint, it's Tommy Dreamer, right? So, oh yeah, and Ric Flair. So, if anybody is going to take the fall, of course it would have to be Tommy Dreamer,
Yeah.
which I think is wrong, honestly. I mean, like, look at this face. I mean, like, is this the face of a man who would defend sexual abuse?
I have to say, if he didn't get suspended, I feel like he would have been involved in Victory Road in some type of capacity.
No, I don't think so. Because remember, he lost his match to be involved. So, like, yeah, like, so,
He could have
yeah,
been in a
like, I don't,
backstage segment.
maybe, but I'd have took a backstage segment though. But
Yeah.
they ain't had to fire my man Tom. I mean, like,
He didn't get fired. He just got suspended indefinitely.
okay, and let's be real. What does indefinitely mean?
You're pretty much
Forever,
fired.
forever. Yeah, so you done. Like, so they ain't had to fire my man. Like, I mean, like they try to do it in a nice way. Like, that's just a nice way to put it. Oh yeah, you're suspended indefinitely. Like, yeah, like I'm done forever. Like, I ain't never coming back. What you mean?
Oh my god.
But if I ain't mistaken, I believe it's a part 2 that's coming out next week, or whenever the next episode comes on.
For Plane Ride from Hell?
Yeah, I think so.
Huh.
I might be wrong, but like I remember somebody saying something that a part 2 is coming.
Okay. I haven't heard anything about a part 2.
They could just be, they could just be talking, but
Alrighty. Yeah. Well, I definitely gotta watch that episode. I wish I could have contributed more to the subject, but I didn't watch the episode.
it's all good.
You got any breaking news for us, Rose?
Yeah, yeah, let me check that. Let me check, see if I got anything real quick. You got anything that you want to plug or anything while I do that?
A plug? Yes. I'm actually starting a Power Rangers podcast called Legacy of Power, LOP. Yes, that's a play on Legion of Doom, LOD. Debuting October, if I'm not mistaken, should be October 16th. That's when episode 13 of Power Rangers Dino Fury should air, if my math is correct. So stick. I hope you guys look forward to it.
So y'all check that out.
And Rose, are you gonna do a watch along with me when Lord Zed makes his epic return to Power Rangers the following week?
I'm gonna try to. 'Cause I want to see that episode. I've been, I've been waiting for it.
Me too. I think it's just like a one-time thing, though. It's not he's like to stick around for the season, but still, it's his big return. It's a must-see,
Mm-hmm.
a must-see episode. And for the wrestling fans, Impact Bound for Glory tickets go on sale on Friday, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. They go on sale on Friday. So hopefully I can score some tickets. Or hopefully Rose and I can score some tickets and we can go to the Bound for Glory.
Hopefully, because Impact, they just made it official for Bound for Glory. Christian Cage defending against Josh Alexander.
I I
Impact
I, I
World title.
really want to go because first of all, it's like right next door to me. Number two, I've never been to an Impact show, and I really want to go to an Impact show. And I don't know when's the next. If I don't go, I don't know when's the next opportunity I get to go to an Impact show. You know.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Like, I'll be glad when Impact when they come over to the East Coast.
I
You
know
can
they
come
do a
over
lot of
to.
tapings in Nashville, Ohio, and I forgot the third state.
It's normally Vegas.
Vegas. Okay, so if I'm gonna have to wait till probably next year to go to an Impact show, unless I go to Nashville,
Go to the Impact Zone.
the new Impact Zone. So, what
Uh,
else is there to
no,
discuss?
no breaking news.
No breaking news.
Yeah, it's a
What
quiet weekend.
what is trending on Twitter? Let's see. What is trending on Twitter? And trending on Twitter, we got Lionheart, which I thought was Chris Jericho's nickname, but no, it's apparently has UFC. Family Guy, Bellator's oh look, Impact is trending under wrestling.
Okay, Impact.
Yes, it's wrestling. It's trending. I mean, like we said, this was a good show. I don't know why people continue to sleep on Impact Wrestling.
They gonna wake up one day. One day they gonna wake up.
One day. So I guess with nothing else to discuss, should we get ready to wrap up?
Yeah, we gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. Like I said, I gave the show a 4.5. Victory Road. It was a good. It was a good show, and it did its job. We a couple weeks away from Bound for Glory. We got Impact Wrestling this Thursday. Let's get it. Bound for Glory. Check the chat. Steve said he's gonna try to watch it. At least the pay-per-view. I mean, at least you watch something to Impact and you don't rag on it like most people do.
Exactly. Or you diss people for watching Impact and then watch the pay-per-view.
Yeah, or that. Anything else this weekend, or was this the only pay-per-view this weekend?
This is the only pay-per-view this weekend of wrestling related anyways.
Okay, all right. Well, you doing anything for Monday night? Well,
Yeah, I'm gonna do the review maybe, but with Steve Callahan.
okay. And you'll be going raw with the tiller, Steve. Okay. I hear that. Make sure y'all check that out. I appreciate everybody that joined us for the review. Steve. Everybody in the chat that was holding you down. If you was new, hit that subscribe button. If you like what you see, hit that like button. That's my homegirl, Rangers of Wrestling. Make sure y'all go check out. Awesome contact. She does Power Rangers. She does wrestling reviews. Make sure y'all go ahead and give her a look. And we out.